All right, so this is the last major thing we're going to learn about this unit for patterns, linear relations, that kind of thing. It's being able to solve, and I'll talk about what solving means, either using graphs or using equations. The entire focus we've been doing this unit has been trying to turn a pattern that we can see or represent into either a graph or an equation. What we're going to do today is talk about how we can use those graphs and equations to find out answers, to make predictions about the future. The first one we're going to do is graphs because it's a little bit easier. So I have here a graph and we can tell what it is. It's the amount of pages that have been used in like a book or something based on the days that have passed. So we can see our graph here. We know what's going on. A kind of question might be asked, how many pages are going to be used in a week? So in order to figure this out, maybe let's just say 5 days. In order to figure this out, we actually need to look on the graph. So this is 1 day, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find out up here along this line, draw straighter, what the actual line is on the graph. So to do that, I'm going to have to extend the line on the graph that I have right now. Let's extend it. There we go. Okay. By extending it like that, we're able to see, okay, well, I know this pattern is going to continue, and we can see, oh, right there, that's going to be the answer. So at 5 days, it's right here, and let's just quickly count, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 19. So I know there will be 19 pages have been used in 5 days. The other thing that we can do is figure out smaller numbers that have already passed. So for example, if you want to know, okay, well, what about in 1 day? How many pages have been used? Well, we can just check right here. Oh, at 1 day, let's check on the graph. What does it say? So this is 2, 4, 6, 7. So we would say, oh, well, it's 7 pages. That's how we can use a graph to figure out, oh, what's happened before, what's going to happen in the future with these patterns. Now, I'm going to be honest, this graphing isn't as good because sometimes you're going to get like half answers and stuff that isn't fully on the line. What's much better is the equations that we've been working on. And that's why we spent so much time writing them out. So let's turn this graph into an equation so we can figure it out. So I got my start number here, which is 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's going to be plus 4. And then I got my change number. As I go over 1, I go up 3. So it's plus 3. That's my equation right there. I want to really quickly take a sec and just double check about what my y and what my x represent. When I look over at my graph, it actually says it for me. Okay. So y, the one on the side, is pages used. Pages used. And the x is down here at the bottom. It's the number of days. So if we get a question like, let's say, how many pages will be used in 100 days, this graph is going to be really hard to use because we'd have to go all the way to 100 and it's going to go way off the page. This equation makes it really quick. We just got to realize, okay, where's that 100 go? The clue is it says 100 days. So I just think, okay, well, this 100 is either going to be the x or the y. It's 100 days and x was days. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace the x with that 100. So let's write the equation again. Y equals 3x plus 4. But instead of x, I'm going to change that to the 100. Because in this situation, the x is 100. It is 100 days. And now we just need to solve it. Remember, it was 3x, which means 3 times. So it's going to be y equals 300 plus 4. So y is equal to 304. And remember, y was pages used. So the answer to that would be, oh, well, you'll have used 304 pages of your notebook 100 days into the school year. That's the basic concept. There is going to be some harder questions that work like this, where it says, something like this. So instead of giving you the x number, in this case it gave me pages, which I know is y. So it works the same way where you replace the y number. So it would be, start with the equation, but in this case that 298 would replace the y because it's pages. So it'd be 298 is equal to 3x plus 4. We're going to talk more about these when we do our algebra unit and focus on that, but I'm just kind of showing you the basics there. So with this in mind, if you're given any pattern, you should be able to predict and make guesses about future numbers. Let's do one more really quick. So if I gave you, let's do this. Okay, we can see the pattern going on here, right? So we started with 3, and then here was 5, and then here was 7. So if I had to write my equation, this is figure 1, 2, and 3. So figure 0, we know, or the pattern, the change number, let's do that in green. It's adding 2 every time. So I'm going to put that for the 2. And then the start number is going to be here. It would be just one circle, so it's plus 1. That's the equation for this pattern. So if I asked you, what's the 100th figure going to look like? How many circles is it going to be? We're going to put that 100 into x, because x is the figure number. So it's going to be y is equal to 2 times 100 plus the starting one. Y is equal to 200 plus 1. Y is equal to 201. So if you asked me for the 100th pattern, there would be 201 circles in that pattern. That's the basic idea. It can be applied to any of the questions we've done so far and anything that can be turned into a pattern like this. And that's it.